Welcome to another episode of The Raw Truth. As always, I'm your host, BX Bad Boy. And today we're going to be talking about freedom of speech, and what I have to say about it, and what's facts. Welcome again, as always. We start off fresh with something new, or a follow-up, whichever comes first. So, I said freedom of speech. People have a misconception what that means, and also the fact that freedom of speech still has consequences, but apparently no. You can say whatever you want, whenever you want. So I did a little research. It actually is very suspicious what the freedom of speech means exactly according to the First Amendment. So let's get into it. Now, as it states right here, for those of you who want to know what website this is uscourts.gov. So it's a government site. Freedom of speech. The very top of that states, freedom of speech includes the right not to speak. Specifically, the right not to salute the flag. Oh. You have a right not to salute the flag. Of students to wear black armbands to school to protest war. Here we go. Students do not shed their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gate. Means I can wear the black band. To use certain offensive words and phrases to convey political message, like fuck Donald Trump, for instance. To contribute money under certain circumstances to political campaign. They need to strike that, because you can buy a governor, buy a president, buy a senator. To advertise commercial products and professional services with some restrictions. To engage in symbolic speech, burning the flag in protest. Gee, what's that say? And we'll go down to continuing. Freedom of speech does not include the right to incite actions that would harm others, like fight, like make people do what you want by fighting them, to make or distribute obscene materials. I guess that means pornographic stuff. To burn draft cards as an anti-war protest. Well, since there is no draft, that doesn't apply. To permit students to print articles in a school newspaper over the objection to the school's administration. Ooh. So you can't talk shit about the school you're in the school paper. Of students to make an obscene speech at a school-sponsored event. We're in the very fast through. Of students to advocate illegal drug use at a school-sponsored event. So that's the First Amendment. As you can read here, what does free speech mean? Among other cherished values, the First Amendment protects freedom of speech. The U.S. Supreme Court often has struggled to determine what exactly constitutes protected speech. The following are examples of speech, both direct words and symbolic actions, that the court has decided are either entitled to First Amendment protections or not. So, if I can burn a flag, then I can bend my knee. We're just going to say that, and we're going to move on from that point. Now, it states right here, clear as day, the basics of freedom of speech. If I told you to fight peacefully, then you're not fighting. I'm sorry. The definition of fight is not peacefully. Boxers don't fight peacefully if they sit in the ring and do absolutely nothing. They're just sitting peacefully. So you can add whatever words you want at the end. Like if someone said, let's murder peacefully. So what's that supposed to mean? The person used the word murder and peacefully. So did he tell you to murder or not? Oh wait, that's right. It's up to you to which one you choose. And those who choose to murder chose that form. Now, if you tell someone to fight and then add peacefully at the end, and they choose to fight instead of being peaceful, well, you did put that thought in their head. They took your sentence and dissected it as they saw fit. They like, oh, he says peacefully to cover his ass, but he means to fight. So they go fight. That's your fault. There's no way around it. Now, I don't care if it was Donald Trump or Jesus himself. The actions that were taken were inciting. Even if he really didn't mean to. You have to be careful with the words you use in a conversation and to a person. You can't just say, look a person dead in their face and like, yo, I hate white people, and it's white people you're talking to, and then expect them to be like, oh, he's not talking about us. No. Even if you would look that person in the face, I hate some white people. Looking them dead in the face, but not saying, not you guys, but some. They're forced to interpret that as they may be that some, but since they don't know, it puts them on edge. So anything you say from that point on, they either take offense to or think you're talking about them. Donald Trump knew if he just added peaceful at the end, it would be a continuous argument. Oh, he said peaceful. It doesn't matter if you said peaceful and kill in the same sentence. You're still responsible for the kill part. You're still responsible for the peaceful. Now, if the person chooses the kill part, you're responsible for that because you put that thought out there, that action out there, that intent out there. If you didn't intend on that, then you wouldn't have used that word. If I wasn't going to kill anyone or didn't want anyone to die, I wouldn't use the word kill or fight if I didn't want them to fight. He called the Republicans that are not siding with him cowards, and they need to be taught a lesson. In the particular circumstances of them counting the electoral ballots, it's only ceremonial. There's no real counting going on. In the same sense as when they counted the ballots at the ballot house, wherever you want to call that place they counted it at. That is where the count counted. At the Senate, once the states certify their ballots, it doesn't matter what the Senate says. Yeah, it can be overturned, but to get the numbers to overturn each individual state, it's practically impossible because there's always going to be a large majority voting for that president or on that president's potential side, may it be the incoming or the already existing president, or as they call it, incumbent, which doesn't make much sense in my eyes. He's already there. Standing, sitting, existing president versus the incumbent. Sounds more logical, but hey, I didn't make up that language. I only have to figure it out. Anyway, so it's symbolic. So even if they were to sit there all day long, screaming and yelling, even if they were to burn the whole block around the Capitol, nothing could have been changed. So for them to go to the Capitol, we want ice cream, wouldn't change things. The count was already established. This was just ceremonial. Pence had no power here. So I highly doubt for 1 second Trump was anticipating that they were going to go down to a ceremony, disturb the ceremony, and then he'd be still president. No. But if they were successful at wiping out Congress, he could weasel his way into the presidency. But he can't flat out tell them to do that. He's stupid, but he's not stupid. He knows his words can be used against him. And he also knows how to twist words. So, freedom of speech does not apply here. Look up freedom of speech and compare it to his speech. And just because he added peaceful at the end, that doesn't make his other words just go away. The whole rally before the count was all about fighting physically. Trump may not have verbally stated physically, but everybody else did, and they used the word fight just like Trump did. So the whole crew said fight. If enough people say the same thing, we all start to believe it. Because why would they all be saying that? We start questioning our own self. So a lesser mind would fall for that and go, okay, it must be true, let's fight. That's your fault. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, that is your fault. If you say things that can be interpreted as the way the person you're talking to does, and since they're fucking idiots, you said things to an idiot and didn't expect them to twist your words because they're idiots, then maybe you're the idiot or a liar. I'm going to go with liar because he purposely said negative and attack of things and then ended it with peaceful. He should have said peacefully protest the results, not fight. When you say fight, it's inciting violence, plain and simple. The mere definition of fight requires contact, physically. There may be underlying definitions of fight that mean symbolically for you to argue your piece, but that's bullshit, as that's what his intentions were. Go up there and argue for nothing. He knows that that event was ceremonial, meaning it had no actual outcome changing of the election. He knew this. Just like he knew Pence had no power. They were talking about killing Pence after he talked shit about not liking Pence anymore, if Pence didn't bend over and do what he says. He talked shit about Nancy Pelosi and all the Democrats and everybody's name they mentioned wanting to either harm and or kill. Correlation? You think? And every last one of them turn around and wants to start being witnesses against Donald Trump in the continuation of the constitutional, not the first time someone's been impeached out of office. Look it up. 3 other cases where somebody was impeached after. And he was actually impeached beforehand. So, learn, you stupid motherfuckers. Learn. Impeaching is done by the House. Already done. This is a conviction, not an impeachment. So the process was started. This isn't being done out of office as much as a continuation that took time. So criminals just get away with crimes because it's been past time. I know they have statute of limitations on certain crimes, but he's nowhere near past any statutes. They just don't want him to get convicted because then he can't run in 2024. And it makes them all look bad because if he can be convicted, so can they. Those who went like this to the crowd, go people, fight. Because this means fight the power. Doesn't matter what color, it means fight the power. So he cheered them before they attacked the Capitol. And he told them to fight for the right to overturn the election. Something they knew that couldn't happen. But they all said things they knew couldn't change things. That means you had ill intent. Every senator, every member of the House knows they could not change the events of the election. Plain and simple, they knew they couldn't. So stating fight to overturn the election, something they knew that couldn't be done, that's like saying, the key's not at the front of my door to unlock it to let you in. It's not there. So don't bother looking. And someone comes in and unlocks the door and walks in because I told them where the key was. Telling the crowd and all the sycophants, which I have a new name for them, because you know what? They're not sycophants. They're simps. They're Donald Trump simps. They're not even Republican simps. They're Donald Trump simps. But we're not going to go there. Me telling them they can fight and overturn the election and put their president back in power, knowing it can't be done, is incitement. Mere words of doing something that they can't do, telling them they can, that's inciting them. Because as they watch their failures take place, they're going to become riotous. Donald Trump knew he couldn't do it. The only way Donald Trump would have been able to try to steal power is if they took out Congress, plain and simple. Held hostages. Negotiated deals. Why do you think they showed up with those ties? Dicks. So that's not a freedom of speech so much as terroristic threat. I learned that word, or that sentence, or that phrase, the hard way. I was accused of it. But yet they were forced to drop the case and strike it from my record because I didn't. But Donald Trump did. He told them to fight the Republicans that were too cowardice to do what he told them to fight the Democrats that were trying to steal his election, and all the months leading up to that event. He motivated them and convinced them the only way that they're going to get him to stay president is if they stand up and fight the government. Protesting the government is not fighting them. And say what you will about BLM, please do. Not one that I've seen thus far on record or in the news or running around or when they're arrested, one BLM member saying they destroyed anything. And anyone who destroyed anything was arrested. They didn't go, BLM, yeah! No. The rioters during the BLM protests were opportunists, taking the opportunity to commit violence and steal, and blame it on the blacks and the browns and the protesters because they're easy targets, because they're not white. It's that simple. The protesters, insurrectionists, and rioters at the Capitol all claimed Trump, 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 Trump. They did it with they fucking attacked the building with the flags. They beat a police officer to death with an American flag. But one man kneels and he's ostracized, then so should Trump supporters be ostracized. I'm not saying they should. I'm saying if he should for being on his knee, then Trump supporters should be too. Because they're doing the same thing. They desecrated the flag, desecrated Blue Lives Matter flags, desecrated their whole protest. So they did 10 times worse than he did by kneeling, because he was protesting for police brutality and racial equality. These simps attacked the Capitol to keep a dictator in power, because all he was a dictator. He didn't do shit for the entirety of the country. He helped out very, very specific people and fucked over the rest. And I happen to be part of that rest. And he fucked me over. He may have helped you middle class, but us lower class, he pissed all over us. So, fuck you, because you got looked out for. You're saying fuck me, so I'm saying fuck you. I want someone who's going to fight for us all as a whole United States. Now, I don't know how well Biden's going to do. I'm not a Biden supporter. I'm not a Trump supporter. But if Biden puts in for everyone, and even if he gets me $50, okay, and gives you $100, you middle class pricks, I'll say he helped me. You understand? But if he gives you $100 and takes that $100 out of my fucking pocket, well, fuck you and fuck him. He's going after the rich at this point, who pay far less in taxes and make so much more than we do. Even you middle class pricks. They make more than you and me. And you're the one paying all the taxes. But yet, go Trump, go. Go Trump, go. Oh, fuck me harder, baby. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because that's what you're saying. Because you're the jackasses that are paying the taxes. You cry that the lower class enjoy. We're supposed to be working together to make the rich pay their part. But you're too busy attacking us because you think you're better than us. You're not. You're a piece of shit. You couldn't spend a day in my fucking shoes. You middle class pricks. And they'll tell me, I came up. Let me tell you something. 1 in 5 people might have come up from the hood. The other 4 got stepped on by that asshole that got up. That's not humanity. That's Republican. But I digress. I gotta stop picking on you Republicans. But it's hard when the Republican way, in a whole, is to step on little people. Because the rich step on you. Is that what trickle-down economics means? Feels like it. If the Republican base, or the middle class, better yet, not the Republican in a whole, but middle class would join forces with lower class, our country would be better for it. At one point we were a team, and we got shit done. somehow the American dream became survival of the fittest. And if there's one job opening in a business and you step all over the other 4 people to get there, guess what? You don't deserve the position. You're supposed to go to the best, or the one most deserving, not the one who does the most killing. Metaphorically, or as Trump would put it, peacefully. I spent a lifetime, 42 years to be precise, watching people get stepped on. Didn't deserve it. They were just doing their work. Couldn't call it a job when they're in school. And the newly middle class were a bunch of douchebag bullies that only got where they are not by the skin of their teeth, by the bruises of the people they stepped on the way up. You're not supposed to step on people on the way up. You're supposed to outrun them, perhaps, be smarter than them, be better suited than them, but not step on them in the process. Process. And I can't tell you too many people that came from the gutter I came from that didn't step all over people to get above. And I can't be completely mad at them, though I've had opportunities to step on people through the ground and I refused. That's why I'm still in the gutter. I'd rather die in a gutter, standing tall, than be on my knees above the gutter. Honor. Distant memory. But guess what? Sims. It's on a comeback tour. So if I was you, I'd get my affairs in order.